The extraordinary impact Alex Eala had made throughout the grass court season and demonstrated how deeply her remarkable performances had resonated with the global tennis community. On July 17, 2026, the WTA officially recognized Alexandra Eala as the star of the grass court swing, an honor that represented one of the biggest milestones of her young career. For the Philippines, the recognition was historic, as no Filipina had ever received this distinction, making the achievement a landmark moment for the nation's tennis history. It also marked the first time since Naomi Osaka in 2021 that an Asian player had earned the recognition, further emphasizing the growing influence of Asian athletes on the world stage. Yet the significance of the award extended far beyond a fan vote or a popularity contest. It celebrated an unforgettable 5-week grass court campaign that transformed Eala from one of the WTA Tour's most promising young talents into one of its most talked-about rising stars. Week after week, she displayed fearless tennis, remarkable consistency, and the confidence to challenge some of the biggest names in the sport, earning the admiration of fans, commentators, and former players alike. Every victory added another chapter to a breakthrough season that captured international attention and inspired millions of supporters. Her performances demonstrated not only exceptional talent but also the composure and determination required to compete against the world's elite on one of tennis' most demanding surfaces. Throughout the grass court swing, Eala proved that she could thrive under pressure, rise to the occasion on the biggest stages, and deliver memorable performances against top-ranked opponents. As her victories accumulated, so did her popularity, with fans from across the globe embracing her exciting style of play, humble personality, and relentless fighting spirit. The overwhelming support she received in the WTA poll reflected more than admiration for her results. It reflected a growing belief that women's tennis had discovered one of its brightest new stars. For Filipino fans, the award carried even deeper meaning. It represented years of hope, perseverance, and belief finally rewarded on the international stage. Millions celebrated the achievement with immense pride, seeing in Eala a symbol of what dedication, resilience, and ambition can accomplish. Young athletes throughout the Philippines suddenly had a role model who proved that reaching the highest levels of professional tennis was possible, regardless of where they came from. Her success inspired a new generation to dream bigger while bringing unprecedented attention to tennis in a country where the sport continues to grow. The WTA's recognition also reflected the changing landscape of global tennis. The sport is no longer defined only by its traditional powerhouses, as emerging nations continue producing world-class talent capable of inspiring audiences worldwide. Alex Eala's remarkable rise has become one of the clearest examples of this new era. Her breakthrough performances, historic achievements, and overwhelming victory in the WTA fan poll demonstrated that greatness is measured not only by trophies and rankings but also by the ability to inspire millions of people across different countries and cultures. By the end of the 2026 grass court season, one message had become unmistakably clear. Alex Eala was no longer simply a promising young player with enormous potential. She had established herself as one of the most exciting stars in women's tennis, a proud representative of the Philippines, and a player whose influence extended far beyond the tennis court. Her unforgettable run had changed the course of her career, elevated her profile around the world, and signaled that this remarkable chapter was only the beginning of an even greater journey. Alex Eala began her unforgettable 2026 grass court campaign by capturing her second career WTA 125 title at the Lexus Birmingham Open, overcoming a week filled with rain delays before battling back to defeat Nikola Bardonkova in a thrilling 3-set final, 5-7, 6-3, 7-5. The victory was a defining milestone, marking her first professional title on grass and announcing to the tennis world that she had become a genuine threat on the surface. Riding the confidence from Birmingham, Eala traveled to Germany for the prestigious WTA 500 Berlin Open, where she produced the finest run of her young career. She stunned 2022 Wimbledon champion and world number 2 Elena Rybakina with a brilliant display of fearless tennis before defeating world number 8 Alina Svitolina to secure another statement victory over one of the sport's elite players. These victories were not lucky upsets or one-off performances. They were powerful declarations that Alex Eala had arrived among the world's best. Her momentum carried into Wimbledon, where she entered the tournament as the number 29 seed and continued rewriting Philippine tennis history. Match after match, she displayed confidence, composure, and determination before producing the defining moment of her career on center court. In one of the tournament's biggest surprises, Eala defeated defending champion Iga Swiatek in straight sets, 7-6, 6-2, becoming the first Filipina in the Open era to reach the second week of a Grand Slam singles event. The victory sent shockwaves throughout the tennis world and sparked nationwide celebrations across the Philippines, where millions of fans proudly watched one of their own achieve what had once seemed impossible. Although her remarkable Wimbledon journey came to an end in the fourth round after a hard-fought 3-set loss to Jasmine Paolini, Eala's extraordinary 5-week grass court campaign elevated her to a career-high world ranking of number 28 and firmly established her as one of the brightest rising stars on the WTA Tour. She finished the grass season with an outstanding 12-4 record, one of the strongest records on the surface that year, proving her consistency against the highest level of competition. Her unforgettable performances inspired what many fans began calling the Eala effect, as millions of Filipinos across the world united in support of their rising star. Yet the overwhelming response she received extended far beyond the Filipino community. Tennis fans from every continent embraced her exciting style of play, fearless attitude, and humble personality, making her one of the most talked-about players of the entire grass court season. That admiration was reflected in the official WTA fan poll, where Eala received an incredible 2,164 votes out of 2,442 total votes cast, accounting for nearly 89% of all votes. Wimbledon champion Linda Noskova finished a distant second with only 176 votes. Wimbledon finalist Karolina Muchova received just 72 votes, and Bad Homburg finalist Naomi Osaka placed fourth with only 17 votes. The result was far more than a comfortable victory. It was a powerful statement that Alex Eala had captured the hearts of tennis fans around the world. What made the landslide even more remarkable was the quality of competition she faced throughout the grass court swing. While Linda Noskova finished the season with a 13-1 record on grass and Karolina Muchova posted a superb 12-2 record, Eala's outstanding 12-4 campaign, combined with her victories over some of the biggest names in women's tennis and her historic Wimbledon breakthrough, convinced fans that no player had made a greater impact during the 2026 grass court season. By the time the WTA announced the final results, one conclusion had become impossible to dispute. Alex Eala was not only one of the biggest breakthrough stars of the year but also the player who had defined the entire grass court swing through her performances, her resilience, and the inspiration she brought to millions of fans around the world. On paper, the Czech players may have finished the grass court season with slightly better win-loss records, but the WTA fan poll was never about statistics alone. It was about impact, inspiration, and the player who captured the hearts of tennis fans around the world. Alex Eala's remarkable journey began at the Lexus Birmingham Open, where she claimed her second career WTA 125 title after battling through a week disrupted by constant rain delays. Showing tremendous resilience, she recovered from a set down to defeat Nikola Bartonkova 5-7, 6-3, 7-5 in a thrilling championship match. The victory carried enormous significance because it was the first grass court title of her career, proving that she had developed into a genuine contender on one of tennis' most demanding surfaces. Filled with confidence, Eala traveled to Germany as a wild card for the prestigious WTA 500 Berlin Open, where she produced a breakthrough performance that stunned the tennis world. In the second round, she defeated 2022 Wimbledon champion and world number 2 Elena Rybakina by a score of 7-5, 6-4, one of the biggest victories of her career. She followed that remarkable upset with another impressive performance, defeating world number 8 Alina Svitolina in the quarterfinals to earn her sixth career victory over a top 10 opponent. Although her inspiring run ended in the semifinals against Linda Noskova, the message had already been delivered to the rest of the tour. Alex Eala had become one of the most dangerous grass court players in women's tennis. She carried that confidence into Wimbledon, arriving as the tournament's number 29 seed and continuing to make history with every match she played. After defeating Renata Zarazua and Maya Joint in straight sets to reach the third round, Eala stepped onto center court for what would become the defining match of her young career. Facing defending champion Iga Swiatek, she produced a fearless and unforgettable performance, winning 7-6, 6-2 to record one of the biggest upsets of the tournament. The victory was historic, making Alex Eala the first Filipina in the Open era to reach the second week of a Grand Slam singles tournament and instantly elevating her into the international spotlight. During her emotional post-match interview, Eala reflected on the journey that had brought her to that unforgettable moment, saying, "I went to train every day after school with my ruffled socks, light-up shoes, and chubby cheeks. To younger me, this is everything." Those heartfelt words resonated with millions of people around the world. The interview quickly spread across social media, shared by the Filipino diaspora and tennis fans everywhere, inspiring countless young athletes who saw their own dreams reflected in her story. The Eala effect was no longer confined to the tennis court. It had become a global phenomenon fueled by hope, perseverance, and national pride. Although her remarkable Wimbledon campaign ended in the fourth round after a hard-fought three-set loss to Jasmine Paolini, the defeat did little to diminish what she had accomplished during an unforgettable 5-week stretch. Her outstanding performances lifted her to a career-high world ranking of number 28 and established her as one of the brightest young stars on the WTA Tour. More importantly, the overwhelming support she received in the WTA fan poll gave her something even greater than rankings or trophies. It confirmed that her influence had grown beyond match results and tournament victories. Alex Eala had become more than an elite tennis player. She had become a symbol of hope for the Philippines, an inspiration for aspiring athletes around the world, and living proof that determination, courage, and relentless hard work can turn impossible dreams into historic achievements. Her impact had outgrown the sport itself, and the world was only beginning to witness the full power of the remarkable movement that had become known as the Eala effect. The Eala effect was no longer just a phrase. It had become a movement, and the WTA had finally taken notice. While the fan poll officially confirmed Alex Eala as the standout performer of the 2026 grass court season, the final numbers told only part of the story. They could not fully capture the remarkable transformation that had made her historic breakthrough possible. Just a few years earlier, Eala had struggled to find success on grass, a surface that once seemed to expose the weaknesses in her game. In 2024, she failed to make a major impact, losing in the second round of qualifying at Nottingham and reaching only the quarterfinals of a WTA 125 tournament. Yet rather than becoming discouraged, she used those setbacks as motivation to improve every aspect of her game. By 2025, her progress was impossible to ignore as she reached the final at Eastbourne, becoming the first Filipina to compete in a WTA Tour level final. That remarkable achievement signaled that grass was no longer an unfamiliar surface but one where she could truly compete with the world's best. The 2026 season built upon that foundation and elevated her game to an entirely new level. Eala opened the grass court swing by winning the Lexus Birmingham Open, securing her second career WTA 125 title after battling through a rain-interrupted week and rallying from one set down to defeat Nikola Bardonkova 5-7, 6-3, 7-5 in an unforgettable final. It was her first professional title on grass, and it marked the moment when everything seemed to click. Although she suffered a second-round exit at Queen's Club, the defeat proved to be only a temporary setback that strengthened her determination heading into the WTA 500 Berlin Open. There, she produced the most impressive run of her career, beginning with a straight sets victory over Queen's Club champion Donna Vekic before delivering one of the biggest upsets of the season by defeating 2022 Wimbledon champion and world number 2 Elena Rybakina 7-5, 6-4. She continued her remarkable run in the quarterfinals by defeating world number 8 Alina Svitolina 6-3, 6-4, demonstrating once again that her breakthrough was no accident. Those victories immediately changed the way the tennis world viewed the young Filipina, proving that she possessed both the confidence and the ability to challenge the very best players on the biggest stages. After their memorable meeting at Wimbledon, Jasmine Paolini summed up Eala's transformation perfectly when she praised her game and acknowledged how naturally it suited the grass courts. Coming from one of the world's top players, it was one of the highest compliments Eala could receive and reflected the growing respect she had earned throughout the tour. Although her outstanding Berlin campaign came to an end with a semi-final loss to Linda Noskova, the damage had already been done. Eala had established herself as one of the elite performers of the entire grass court season. By the end of the swing, she had compiled an outstanding 12-4 record on grass, one of the best records on the WTA Tour, trailing only Linda Noskova's 13-1 and Karolina Machova's 12-2 marks. Even more impressively, she recorded victories over 3 top 10 opponents during the grass season, including defending Wimbledon champion Iga Swiatek, confirming that her rise was built on elite performances rather than favorable draws or isolated upsets. What made Alex Eala's breakthrough so extraordinary was not simply the number of matches she won but the incredible journey she had taken to reach that point. In the span of just 2 years, she transformed herself from a player struggling to find success on grass into one of the surface's most dangerous competitors. Every victory, every lesson learned from defeat, and every breakthrough performance contributed to a remarkable story of perseverance, determination, and belief. By the time the grass court season concluded, one thing had become undeniable. Alex Eala had not only changed the course of her own career but had also inspired millions of fans around the world. The Eala effect was no longer simply a slogan used by supporters. It had become one of the defining stories of the 2026 tennis season and a powerful symbol of what relentless hard work, courage, and unwavering belief can achieve.